Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're looking at Polestar. Polestar Automotive leaps ahead in the EV production race. Polestar Automotive is an electric vehicle maker, headquartered in Gothenburg, Sweden. Shares are finally breaking out of a 7-month-long weekly descending triangle pattern driven by its record quarterly vehicles for Q2 2023. And the numbers were indeed very nice. And I definitely think Polestar has had a resurgence in this space due to the positive delivery numbers, and that is despite the reduction in guidance expectations for Polestar delivery vehicles for 2023. Now, Polestar is an overlooked Swedish EV manufacturer already in production with a record 15,800 deliveries in Q2 2023. That is up 36% year over year. The company confirmed a full year 2023 delivery between 60 to 70,000. That is the expectation for this year. And I definitely think that is more than achievable. Now that would be outproducing Rivian, Lucid, and Fisker. Polestar originally forecast 80,000 vehicles in 2023 until pushing back the newly Polestar 3 SUV, which called for the lower range forecast in May 2023. So that vehicle has been slightly delayed for a few months. The Polestar 3, as we know, was supposed to begin delivery at the end of this year, 2023, Q4. However, manufacturing will be starting in at least Q1 or Q2 2024. Now, the Polestar 3 shares a platform with Volvo EX90, both fully electric SUVs, and I do believe that it's a simple case of development challenges. I do believe that Volvo understands the importance of these two vehicles and the platform. These vehicles need to be perfect. Everything needs to be perfect. Everything is relying on these vehicles for both companies to do well in the electric space. And when great companies like Volvo understands this, they're willing to make sacrifices such as delaying the highly anticipated, highly wanted vehicles until early 2024. Now, Polestar was originally a spin-off from Volvo, owned by Geely, and the vehicles are currently being manufactured out of China. The vehicles are being designed and developed in Sweden and in the UK. Now, let's look at a few competitors to Polestar in the electric space. Not direct competition per se, but they are other electric vehicle companies and they're starting out roughly at the same time as Polestar. So they're a good comparison. Polestar delivery estimates for 2023 best competitor are such as Rivian, Fisker, and Lucid. Rivian is hoping to deliver 50,000 vehicles this year. Last year they delivered 20,000 vehicles, and I think this is very accomplishable for Rivian, and I look forward to it, of course. Fisker is hoping to deliver 34,000 vehicles this year, and Lucid is looking to deliver 10,000 vehicles this year. We know that Lucid vehicles tend to be extremely expensive, in the 6-figure range at least, sometimes. The Rivian vehicles, the R1T and R1S, are also expensive vehicles. Some of these vehicles, they cost twice as much as a Polestar 2, and that says a lot. So this puts Polestar in a very fortunate situation. However, I think where Rivian outpaced Polestar is Rivian's ability to develop manufacturing and cater to reducing the cost of manufacturing. For a company like Rivian, who's new to the space, delivering 20,000 vehicles last year and looking to deliver 50,000 vehicles this year, that's absolutely incredible. Next year, they'll be looking at least 80 to 100,000 vehicles, and that would be beyond remarkable. Now, Fisker, on the other hand, they do sell SUVs, such as the Fisker Ocean. I believe that's their main vehicle at the moment. And of course, that's a premium electric SUV. Now, it's not going to be exactly as cheap as a Polestar 2, for instance, but it's not going to be as expensive as a Rivian R1T or R1S. It's going to fit somewhere in between. And Fisker hopes to bring other vehicles to the market that are actually cheaper as well. Now, we all know it's miles behind Tesla. Not just Polestar, but Rivian, Lucid, Fisker, they're miles behind Tesla. We know this. Tesla, on the other hand, they expect to deliver 1.82 million EVs in 2023 alone. That's almost 2 million cars this year. Next year, they'll be sure to pass the 2 million mark, which would be beyond remarkable. As an honest projection for the next 2 years, Tesla could potentially deliver more vehicles than BMW and Mercedes combined. Within the next 5 years, could we see Tesla outpacing not just BMW or Mercedes, but Audi as well, who roughly delivers 800,000 vehicles sometimes? Could we potentially see Tesla outselling the entire VW brand someday? I mean, it's not out of the question. VW, they own Audi, they own their own brand VW, I believe they own Seat, they do own Porsche, and I do believe they own about 50% or 49% of Bugatti. But VW is well known for selling more cheaper cars. They're known for being a brand with lots of other brands under their portfolio, such as Lamborghini as well. And when you look at companies like Lamborghini and Porsche, they deliver low amount of units of vehicles. So it's less about how much vehicles they deliver, and it's more about the margins per vehicle at least. They want to rise those margins. And Porsche tends to be really good at this because they're just well known for being expensive vehicles and they're worth the money for most people. Now, speaking of Porsche, this is a good segue. Porsche is the perfect competitor for Polestar. In fact, they're the direct competitor. Polestar has made it very clear, very honest, that Porsche is the target. Not only in car sales, but also in margins, also in pricing, also in performance. What really sets Porsche apart is that they deliver a lot of SUVs, and this is fundamentally where they make a lot of their money. SUVs, they constantly grow in sales, they're becoming more and more popular as the day go on, and Porsche has always capitalized on this, and they've been doing this successfully for over the past decade. And recently as well, we've seen Lamborghini has joined that race. Lamborghini introduced the Lamborghini Urus quite a few years ago, and it's been doing fundamentally brilliant for the company. It's honestly saved the company in many perspectives. So for a lot of these premium companies, what they're delivering, they're actually developing SUVs specifically because they know SUVs sell really well and they can make up a huge amount of money. They can make you back your money and profits. Porsche's capitalized on this, Audi has capitalized on this. Everyone is capitalizing on it. Lucid is developing SUVs. Polestar is releasing SUVs. SUVs will be a fundamental part of Polestar's business. And this is a huge understatement. The SUV business isn't slowing down at all. So much to the point that we've seen luxury automakers such as Ferrari introduce their own FUV. Reason I say FUV is because it's known as a Ferrari utility vehicle, and that's called the Parasangue. Ferrari is known for making amazing margins on their cars that they've sold. Sometimes 40-50% in margins, that's in profit. Most automakers will be lucky if they get 10 to 20%, but Ferrari can do this and they can get 40 to 50%. And they're selling the Parasangue roughly around £500,000, and that's the starting price, I believe, just somewhere around £450,000. But the thing about the Ferrari cars, the thing about most cars these days, they're highly customizable, which means that the majority of customers will customize these vehicles and the price will go up after customization. It could go up to 500,000, 550,000, 600,000. Sky's the limits. So Ferrari is now capitalizing on this opportunity, and so will Polestar. So will Volvo. They understand the SUV market is incredibly important. They need to get these SUVs perfect. So the Polestar 3 SUV and the Volvo EX90 are perhaps the most important vehicle these manufacturers are producing at the moment, or at least the vehicles that they will produce in the near future. They're perhaps the most important because the margins, the returns, they need to make sure these vehicles are perfect to a customer's expectation. If anything, it needs to surpass a customer's expectation. And I completely agree with this sentiment, and I believe this is a fundamental reason why the Volvo EX90 and the Polestar 3 is delayed. And fundamentally, this is one of the main reasons I believe in Polestar so heavily, because I trust in Volvo. I've trusted in Volvo for many decades. Volvo has always been known as a very good brand, a very good company for manufacturing vehicles. I trust that they will continue this tradition. And I trust that they will transition this into the Polestar company as well. And this is what we're seeing. They're sharing platform, sharing technologies, sharing the business functionality. It's exactly what we need right now for Polestar. So I see great opportunities on the horizon for Polestar as they continue to raise in delivery numbers and margins. Now, when we look at the Ferrari brand, like I said, Ferrari, they don't make a lot of vehicles, perhaps 12,000, 14,000 a year. But as you can see, they are inflationary proof. When it comes to Ferrari, they just do extremely well continuously. Back in the pandemic, March 2020, it was just around $134 per share. You will never see those prices ever again for the Ferrari company, especially now that they've introduced the Ferrari Purosangue, their first FUV. I'm not saying Polestar will do anywhere close to what Ferrari is doing. Absolutely not. I don't believe so. But I am saying I do believe they can compete closer to companies such as Audi and companies such as Porsche. Put it this way, Volvo intends to be the next Audi and Polestar intends to be the next Porsche. Put it that way. Thank you for watching today. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in our next video.